My name is Marc Blatstein, and in 2006, I too was indicted and convicted of a felony, losing my medical license. To call this a life-altering event was at best an understatement, and I realize that all of you are going through the same thing now. With work, though, I was able to get my license reinstated in full in 2010. And so my takeaway or the lesson is prison is temporary, no matter what you think. You will be going home, which is why it's important, although it seems premature, that before your pre-sentence interview, in addition to all the information that the probation officer wants from you, you also should have, it's recommended that you have a well-written personal narrative, a reentry or release plan, and the beginnings of your allocution, which is your conversation with the judge. And all those I cover in other videos, I may touch on some here. My goal is to, in this series, is to provide you with the information you'll need to navigate these times and survive, because knowledge together with preparation will help you build back the confidence you'll need throughout this process. Since you've heard the Department of Justice and the FBI have been asking questions, chances are the cases against you were mostly complete, and they have a 98% conviction rate. Delaying to take this next step is at your peril, and that is you want to hire a legal defense team or an attorney who practices federal criminal defense in federal court. It just doesn't mean, though, that they need to have experience. They should also have a proven track record of successfully defending cases like yours. In addition, it needs to be a good fit, because if you're not comfortable with the team that you're going to be working with, you're not really going to be able to get the best possible outcome. Should you have questions, please do not hesitate to call and consider engaging my services at 240-888-7778. This is your life and your future. I've been through it, and you will too. The courts. Stakeholders include the courts, the attorney, Department of Justice who issued your indictment, the probation officer who is going to conduct your interview and investigation, the prosecutor who thinks that you're responsible for the world's sins, and the judge. And the judge knows everything about everyone that I've already described. The one person they do not know is you. And they also understand that crime does not happen in a vacuum. So you want to, if they get the best possible sentence or the least amount of time, you want to help your judge. The BOP staff, once in prison, has in order of priority from most important all the way down: wardens, underneath them executive assistant, associate wardens. In prisons where we've been held, wardens usually rely upon the associate wardens that concentrate on their own segments of the prison complex and larger complexes. Some typical associate wardens positions may include the following: there may be an associate warden of programs, of industries and education, of operations, of transportation, and then of custody. Department heads. Department heads are unit managers, where they may have a unit manager in charge of one or more dormitory buildings or floors that comprise a housing unit. And the unit manager acts as a mini warden over these dormitory buildings or housing unit. He or she oversees matters related to inmate management, including the unit team, which we'll go through below, and your essential file, and all of your pre-release preparation. Supervisor of education is in charge of administrating education recreation programs. Supervisor of health services in charge of medical and dental. And you have the chaplain in charge of the lieutenants and custody staff, rather captain in charge of lieutenants, custody staff. Supervisor of food service, meal plan preparation. Supervisor of facilities in charge of maintaining the facility. If you're already at this point and don't have time to wait for my future videos, please give me a call. We can discuss your situation one-on-one. Again, my number is 240-888-7778. Next, unit managers and case managers, they're going to meet with you every 3 to 6 months, depending on how long of a sentence you have. They're going to be in charge of job assignments and sleeping arrangement transfers. And those with over 2 years remaining will be scheduled to meet with their unit team managers twice a year. In other words, those over 2 years remaining, you'll meet with them probably twice yearly. Less than 24 months, you'll meet with your unit team more frequently. Unit manager, case manager, counselors are present during these team meetings. During the routine team meetings, you don't learn much, but there's not much interaction or guidance. During a team meeting, the case manager verbally reads your work performance rating, your disciplinary record, your progress in the financial responsibility program, and First Step Back programs. During your first meeting, you want to volunteer. If you have a financial penalty with the court, you want to participate in your financial responsibility program. Newer people coming into the meetings with the hopes that they'll learn something of meaning as to what they're supposed to be doing in prison, well, sometimes that doesn't happen. To many staff members, the only thing that matters of importance include the passing of time, the avoidance of disciplinary problems, and the payment schedule into the financial responsibility plan, which I just mentioned briefly. The counselor's function during these meetings is to describe a person's participation in the financial responsibility program and then passes the prisoner a copy of his or her visiting list. The unit manager designates the prisoner out of the BOP and into halfway house or home confinement custody. Unit managers or mini wardens, they normally don't work with you unless you have a great advocacy plan. They are the CEO of the unit supervising their unit. The unit managers, they're mini wardens, essentially they're CEO of that unit, if you will. They oversee staff. They write the policy for town hall meetings and administration. Whether there are any serious requests, questions, and in most cases, team meetings last fewer than 10 minutes. Residential reentry centers, halfway house, are responsible for you either while you're in home confinement or while you're in the halfway house before entering supervised release. I will go into further YouTubes into more detail of these particular responsibilities of what the staff at each of the Bureau of Prisons facilities do. But to engage my services and have your concerns answered, call me today at 240-888-778. This is my personal cell, and I answer and return all of my calls. You can also get additional information for free on my website at pprsus.com, which is P as in Paul, R as in Robert, S as in Sam, US.com, which stands for Physician Pre-Sentence Report Service. I'm grateful and thankful that you listened in and tuned in today, and I hope you found this helpful. Have a good day.